Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Ganesh, the remover of obstacles, or so his PR team would have us believe. He must have a very, very good PR team, because Ganesh, despite being known as the remover of obstacles, is also often the one putting obstacles in our path. And what is an obstacle? An obstacle is often the place where it's often the place where we actually are able to experience our own true expansive capacity, our own strength, our own endurance, our own resiliency, is only by means of obstacles. Or often, maybe not only, but often. When I think back, honestly, to some of the sort of biggest difficulties that I've faced in my life, sometimes I think back to those times and I'm like, well, I wouldn't wish for it to happen to anyone else, and I wouldn't wish for it to happen again. And yet, do I truly wish that it had never happened? Sometimes the answer is yes. Sometimes the answer is like, no, this experience was sort of a necessary moment in my sort of current understanding of self, in my sort of current ability to connect with others, and my current understanding of life itself. There's a wonderful parable in the Jivamukti Yoga book called, I don't think they have a name for it, but it's about a farmer and his wife. And they go through sort of various like good luck moments and bad luck moments. And the wife is very reactive. She's the one that says like, oh, isn't this wonderful? Or life is going to be forever better. Or, oh, this is a tragedy and I can't believe this has befallen us. And the farmer just always stays very even about everything. And he just looks at whatever the circumstances are. He says, fortunate or unfortunate, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. In other words, in any one given moment, we don't know how things will turn out. And it's only by the benefit of having seen how the cause and effect chain plays out that we're able to look back on it and say, this led to a good path, or this led to a not so good path, right? And truly there aren't bad paths necessarily. I mean, sometimes I get stuck in decision paralysis, right? Where I'm like, well, I could move or I could stay. I could do this or I could do that. I could change this or I could keep it the same. And really, truly, like anytime I've had to make those decisions, like, of course, the other path is unknown to me, but this path has unfolded just the way it's supposed to, right? And so the idea is developing through practice, developing that sense of equanimity and steadiness, even as outside circumstances change. And make no mistake, equanimity does not mean indifference. It does not mean apathy. It does not mean not enjoying the highs or grieving the lows. In fact, experiencing the full range of human experience is what it means to be human in this life, in this time, And in fact, there is a philosophy book called This Life, which even goes so far as to make the argument that because we are capable of the elation and ecstasy of things like love, we are also capable of grief and loss. And because we're capable of loss, that is what makes the ecstasy of love possible is because there's these peaks and valleys of human experience. So we develop that equanimity, I think, through practice. I think the tools of yoga practice are the thing that help us to develop that sense of equanimity, of stability, sthira, of equal standing, steadiness, in the face of all those ups and downs, right? I don't know if you've ever kept I don't know if any of you have ever kept a practice journal, but in the Jivamukti Yoga training, every day, every morning after meditation, we were encouraged to just jot something down, just keep some sort of daily journal about practice. Didn't have to be about anything specific, just meditate and then take pen to paper in whatever form that took. And this has a couple of really important advantages. One is that it helps us bring what is sort of an inner experience to an embodied experience. It makes whatever we've gone through in meditation, it makes it kinesthetic. It sort of helps us to imprint in a real, material way, whatever we've processed in meditation. The other benefit, which surprised me, and I just found by looking over a bunch of days of meditation, is that what you start to realize is that every day is completely different because we live in these changing bodies and changing minds, right? So some days meditation is very, very difficult and I feel very agitated. Other days meditation feels great. Other days meditation feels crummy because I'm stuffed up and I can't breathe. Other days meditation feels really clear and open. Other days my hip hurts. Other days I'm distracted. And so each day is a completely, in some ways, a completely different experience. And having that, in some ways, like reassured me that we can't always rely on meditation feeling like this just one elegant upward trajectory towards whatever our goal is, right? That it doesn't consist of just like plotted data points that are always on an upward trajectory. It's all over the place. It's all over the map. And that the important thing is to know that and practice anyway, right? So whatever it is that we're practicing, whether it's meditation, asana practice, whether it's music practice or Sanskrit practice or some other kind of practice, it's important to rely on something other than motivation or inspiration or even like feeling good, right? Because if I wait to feel motivated to take an asana class, it'll happen every once in a while, I'm sure. If I wait to feel inspired to play music, it might happen every once in a while, who knows? If I wait for meditation to feel good, it'll happen every once in a while, who knows? But rather, we must rely on something else. We must rely on some other fundamental force, fundamental driving force, some inner will in order to practice, right? To sit down and meditate whether the fancy strikes us or not, to sit down and practice scales, whether I particularly feel like it or not. And then from laying that strong foundation again and again over a long period of time, consistently and with effort, then the results come. I saw a beautiful quote this morning saying, January is for roots, not results. And I think that's also a good thing to remember, right? Even as we look outside, the plants are doing the hard work of conserving energy and putting down good roots in order that in the spring they can unfurl and blossom forth, right, and fruit. And I think that's good to remember for practice as well, is that there needs to be long, long periods of putting down good, solid roots, good, solid foundation of practice before inspiration strikes. In fact, you might even say inspiration won't have the opportunity to strike unless I'm sitting down and playing the scales every day, unless I'm sitting down and really focusing in an intentional way on practice every day. So, important to remember, setting up some sort of practice routine that doesn't just rely on feeling like it or on the external or internal circumstances of it, but that really relies on something deeper, some sort of inner fortitude to do it. Okay. If you like these videos and you'd like to subscribe to my Patreon, I would really appreciate it. Even if you just subscribe and make no donation, it just helps build the platform. I've also made some very, very small and incremental donation amounts. So even if you only feel like contributing a couple of dollars or whatever, you have that ability, so that I can keep the podcast going and I can keep these videos going. Just helps here and there, get a new microphone, get a new tripod, stuff like that. Thank you so much. If you stick around, I will show you the chords. Just going to go back and forth between this B minor chord and this A major chord. 2 parts. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Stay the same. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. And then there's an optional second part. Ganesha Sharanam. Sharanam.